Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another bonus edition episode where we dive deeper into culture and just go over some of your questions and comments, which I didn't really get any this week, so a little bummed out by you guys, but that's okay. It's been a weird week. I'm not too excited about this episode. I need to rant. I need to have an honest moment with you guys and just see where it goes from here. This morning, I've been dealing with a lot of trolls this week. A lot of people just talking about my news, talking about maybe some words I pronounced wrong, and just little things that kind of just irked me and made me annoyed and made me angry because, I don't get paid to do this. I do this because out of my own just annoyance at watching reading newspapers and looking at Twitter and watching the media, the news media particularly, just twist stories and take things out of context and not actually give you any facts and only want to tell you commentary and that's why I started this podcast, because I would read news stories every day, and I'm like, there's literally nothing in this article that I could take home and think, okay, this is what is actually going on in the world. This is just an opinion piece. And I feel like that is what the news is now. It's just opinion. And I'm exhausted by it. And I started to get kind of wrapped up in it too the last few episodes of also jumping into the opinion piece world. And is that what we need as a world? And I'm just trying to think about what I can do as a podcast that would be fulfilling to me, make it worth my time, make it worth your time. And I've come up with a new idea, new direction, where I want to do more live question and answers. Maybe try to figure out a way to get you guys to call in and we can discuss like what's going on in your life, what your thoughts are on the media, what your thoughts are on the political situation, what are your thoughts on new bills, anything, or if just a vent. I'm starting to think more and more about doing stuff like that because I like interacting with you guys more and more. I'm not one of those people who just comes up with these deep thinking, captivating responses to situations. I like interacting and having deep conversation and having my mind expanded and having your mind expanded through communication and community. And I hope that is something you also enjoy and find riveting. Because I feel like in this time we've lost that. And I honestly think it's because of the media and social media. We don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to discuss ideas. Instead, we are seeing it played out live in places like Portland where it's just like, just burn it down. This isn't worth trying to have a conversation anymore. Because it's funny to watch even their mayors who, the mayors encourage it. The Portland mayor encourages what's going on. He goes down there, and then they start yelling in his face that wanting him to quit and resign, and until he defunds the police, and they want all these demands. And what do they really want? They want to burn it down. They don't want resolution. And I think it's the media's fault. I think it's how they ask questions to those in power, how they treat those in power, how they write stories, like the Covington kid, with the Native American at the Lincoln Memorial. This story just came out today that he just received another $250 million in defamation lawsuit against the Washington Post after the outlet made him claimed him to be a racist in this quote-unquote standoff. And we saw how just a high school kid on a field trip was, if anything, put on the spot by an aggressive older Native American man and forced him to be uncomfortable. And I think that guy should have charges brought against him, because I don't think that's okay to do to kids. I work with kids, and I would not be okay with another man, I don't care how old you are, getting in the face of a high school kid. That is not okay with me. I'm all about protecting kids. I'm not okay with, even if it's somebody with a different opinion, being able to get in some kid's face. It's ridiculous. They're kids for a reason. Treat them like kids. They've, kids have different opinions than you. They have kid-like opinions. They've never paid taxes. They've never had a job. So I'm happy for that kid, because the stuff that came out about him was ridiculous. I just can imagine how hard it will be for him the rest of his life, trying to get a job. I'm sure he'll have to move somewhere different. So I'm happy that it looks like he doesn't have to work a day in his life. Maybe he'll start a podcast. I don't know what's going to go on with that kid, but maybe he'll become a farmer and just live a simple life. But I blame the media. I honestly do. I watch how people that I know share media posts that are just aggressive, abusive to articles that are written by them. But then if there's something that's written about somebody they love, they're quick to share that news story. And we saw this week how an Al Jazeera reporter was in a conversation with Kayleigh McEnany, and it sounded like in the video that they were going back and forth, and this is becoming more regular with Kayleigh McEnany. It started early on with the Trump administration, and it was like part of it with the Bush too, not as much with Obama. Weird, or is it? And the media is just aggressive. They're there to lecture her. They're there to prove their point, to make a sound clip, and to prove how much smarter they are. Does it happen all the time? No. I think Kayleigh McEnany slipped up a little bit today about Paw Patrol. But, I would say stupid stuff too if the media treated me that way. I think you would too. But apparently, with Al Jazeera, Kimberly Halkett, I believe her last name is pronounced, they were going back and forth, and then under her breath, it sounded like she called her a lying bee. Now, she said it was something else. She said, I guess you're not going to engage with me. I've heard it a million times. I've heard it both ways. To be honest, I've heard it both ways. I don't know what she says. But I think it shows us our response to that video. Shows us how aggressive and abusive and manipulative the media have become. Where some of us just immediately jumped on it. Yes, she said it. And I did too. I thought, you know what? The way the media, the news media in that room treat Kayleigh McEnany is unbelievable. It is so disrespectful, and they are not there to inform the public of what's going on in the White House. They are there to lecture. Like I said, they are there. You see it. They ask her a question, and they're like, well, this is actually not true. And then Kayleigh said, well, I said it is true. And then they just go back and forth, and I'm like, your job should be to ask real questions to inform the public of what's going on in the White House. We already know your stupid opinion, okay? We already know the article you've written 1,000 times, like that New York Times editor who said that she was getting bullied and stuff like for just having moderate ideas. She said, we're so tired of writing Donald Trump is bad articles. We've written a bajillion of those. We don't need to write those anymore. And that is all I see in those press conferences. I'm just getting so tired of watching it. I'm getting tired of watching her react to it, and it's just getting more aggressive. And it's making me feel crazy. And I heard a commentary person this week who I could occasionally listen to said, if you feel like you're going crazy, you're not. It's the media that's going crazy. And I agree. The media are ramping up right now. They are ramping up for an obvious reason. I mean, even all this whole thing with protesting. Why do they use this word? When does it look like protesting? Protesting to me would be, maybe taking a knee as maybe some that makes people mad to hear that, or putting up a sign on a corner, or not eating somewhere, or making a petition about not eating somewhere, or trying to get people to, protest on the side, creating media to say why this person is, or this company is doing stuff like Nike, just abusing the way they treat the people in China to just do the work. And we're like, okay, yeah, we'll have a $50 Nike. That sounds good. We're like, wow, these shoes are awesome. I wonder why they're so cheap. Protesting is fine. But is that protesting going on in Portland right now? Was that protesting in Minneapolis? Absolutely not. Those places are devastated. They are trying to burn down that federal courthouse. And they're trying to figure out why there's federal law enforcement there. A federal piece of property, trying to burn it down. I wonder why they're there. And I'm getting tired of reading that word protest. Especially peaceful protest. These are special words the media likes to use. They're very good at verbiage. They're good at manipulating your brain to think things are not as bad as they are, But if you were to watch some of the video that Andy No puts out and a few other journalists that I follow on Twitter of what's actually going on in Portland, that is not a protest. And you saw this whole thing this week of like them pushing moms linking arms. But then you saw like Andy was saying that, yeah, these moms, they might have been doing it for a little bit, but they were also handing bricks to people. So the aggression is ramping up. I just looked at, just to start, before I started this podcast, I wonder what the top two headlines at MSNBC and CNN are right now. And I looked at Fox News. Fox News was about, what's going on in Portland. MSNBC, Wallace blasts Trump. That is their top headline. CNN, what it took for Trump to acknowledge reality. These two channels push only one narrative, and it's exhausting. I rarely use them as sources because it's the same story every single time on their top headlines. I look at them every morning. I do. I look at so many. I look at Daily Mail. I look at Drudge. I look at CNN. I look at MSNBC. I look at CNBC. I look at Fox News. I look at Breitbart. I look at The Federalist. I look at Daily Beast. I look at Vice News. I look at AP News. There are so many sources I look at. Okay, and these two sources are the worst. And it's exhausting. And the hate against one person is exhausting to be a part of. There's other stuff going on in the world right now. There really is. There's like real stuff, like the Uyghurs being put on trains in China. Why is that not talked about? And then that BBC, I don't know if you've seen that video of the BBC anchor pushing that Chinese, I don't know if he's a consulate guy, I don't remember, but they showed him the video, and the Chinese guy's like, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know where you got this film. It could be prisoners. And let's talk about the region. The region is so beautiful this time of year. Like, that's obvious spin. There is real stuff going on in the world right now besides Donald Trump is a terrible racist human being or whatever you want to push. Okay. And then today, The guy from Barstool Sports, a sports meme page, okay? Sports memes. And for those of you, my older listeners, it's just like silly videos that they post up that people my age and younger love watching these silly videos of like, somebody getting a football to the face and falling down on the ground, like stuff like stupid stuff like that. We love that stuff. Or they just make fun of what's going on in sports, whatever. The president of that agency had an interview with Donald Trump, and it was the most civil interview I've ever seen with him. And he claims that he is apolitical. He doesn't align with the political line, which for many of you could maybe say that about me. I'm not trying to align with a party. I have ideas and principles that I espouse that I hope that this country continues or to live up to. But why does it take somebody who creates a meme, a joking page, to have just an honest and normal conversation with Donald Trump? And the reason I think the media is the way it is right now, and the way they're insane, and the way they're crazy, and the way they're beating me down emotionally, I'm getting exhausted reading the news, trying to find the facts, is because it's an election year. And they're doing everything in their power to get him out of office. And if you think I'm making this up, think about it. Think about it. There's a couple narratives being pushed right now. Donald Trump isn't doing anything about COVID, and he's just now getting serious about it. And he ruined this country because he didn't take it seriously enough, according to Cuomo and everyone. And then there's the other side, the Republicans saying, well, Democratic cities are in total chaos. And this is what you get if you vote Democrat. They're both chaos. And I think they are getting what they want. This country is becoming more and more hostile by the second. I see it in my people that respond to my tweets. I see it in the abuse on social media. I saw it, the way the media handled what's going on. I mean, I live in Colorado, and the way they handled the Denver, the people that were pushing the media, they a supporting cops rally, support the blue rally or whatever, did a rally and had a couple elected officials there, and people were there to just, you say, we're here for you. Black Lives Matter or whatever, you want to say. The media said it was Black Lives Matter. It's hard to tell these days. Went in there and then just started fighting people, throwing rocks, throwing stuff. People had to be escorted out there. And the media here just said, these people were met by protesters. Like, do your job. If there's so many people in the media that will look at a stone and call it cotton. Call it a gummy bear. I mean, I don't understand where we're at. What is it going to take? And for me, I'm trying to create this unbiased news. And I'm trying to create some kind of civil discourse. I want to have more interviews. I have an interview coming up on Monday. And it's with somebody who might not have the same views as me. And I want to invite people of all creeds. If you're a liberal, fantastic. Come on my show. If you're conservative, fantastic. Come on my show. If you're progressive, come on my show. But I'm not here to fight you. So I'm here to have a conversation. If that's what you want to have, let's have it. But I only see progressives really pushing aggressive agenda. And that's just honesty. I don't care what you believe, or if you just have something you want to happen in our country, come on my show. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk. I'll set up a Zoom. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have 5 followers. I just want to have logical discussions with people of different political and religious or just any belief. And I want to restore stability in this country. I'm so tired of the aggression. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the media spinning, taking things completely out of context. See it all the time when Donald Trump has a news conference. They just take a little snippet and then they just write a story about that snippet. And then they don't even apologize for it. I mean, seriously, the way they talk to Kayleigh McEnany in these meetings, I don't know how she doesn't lose her mind. Because I lose my mind just listening. These are adults. These are people that make more money than I will ever make in my entire life. And they are terrible at their job. Anyways, I'm trying to build this 1 minute news, unbiased news. If you believe in trying to have an unbiased news, please support me by sharing these videos, sharing my podcast, liking my stuff, telling your friends about it. I'm finding it's hard to have an unbiased podcast. I think more people enjoy the aggressive part of politics than an unbiased conversation. Now, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Because I see what gets clicks on stories that I post, and it's usually the ones that are more aggressive or ones that make one party look worse than the other party. And that's just a fact. And so I want to provide something different. I want to be different. I want to call a spade when I see it. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to say this is wrong in these bonus episodes. But I'm also open to ideas and open to the way people think and the way people view life. And I hope you are too. Because I think we need that in this country today more than ever. So my pushback this week is to restore civility, to continue to look at each other as human beings, to empathize with one another in our situations. Even the people that have different little views on you, whether it's, I don't know. I'm tired. Maybe you're with me. Maybe you're tired of it. Maybe you're tired of the fighting. You're tired of the aggressive and the news. That's why I see, all these celebrities or at least people I'm tired of the news. It's exhausting. I can't take it anymore. And I agree with you. I hate it. And that's why I started this podcast. Because I'm an idiot. I started this podcast because I wanted something different. I wanted you to be able to come to my page, come to my podcast and just hear the facts, and then you decide what you believe. We've lost that. Instead, we run to these these kings and queens of ideas, and we go, I don't know what to think. Tell me what to think. I don't know how to think anymore. How do I think rightly about this subject? Do you not have a brain? I mean, even this week, I totally forgot. The CNN, Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon making fun of Trump's cognitive test. And while they were making fun of him, it turns out they got the answers wrong, which is that kind of karma is, you can't write that stuff. It's actually beautiful to watch and hilarious. I don't care who it is. It could have been Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity for all I care. It's still funny whenever that kind of stuff happens, when you're trying to make fun of somebody and you actually look stupider than the person you're making fun of. I think that is always great and always a lesson to learn. Maybe not. But that's what news has become, right? These top-rated shows at specific times when most people are at home watching TV, it's commentary, and depending on what channel you're on, it's about who's making who look more stupid, and that's what news media is about now. And I just want to be a part of something different. Maybe you do too. So if you want to be a part of something different, share this video, like this video, share this podcast. I'm making a podcast too. Like it on Twitter or however you're listening. Tell your friends about it. Make sure you subscribe to it on my Apple iTunes or Deezer or Spotify or however you're listening to it. Tell your friends and family about it. I want to be different. Be different with me. Restore civility. Having conversations. And I'm just going to start this from now on. I think I'm going to start it tomorrow. I'm going to do like a couple of live streams where I'm just going to ask you questions about what's going on, what your thoughts are, and I'm going to try to record it, see what happens. Hopefully it's civil, we can have some honest discussions and it not just be awkward. So this week's bonus episode is finished. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope to have more interviews coming up. If you want to be on the podcast, you have a message you want to talk about, you have an opinion you want to say that isn't insane, and you're not here to just argue, but you want to have an honest discussion, come on the show. Email me at theoneminutenews@gmail.com, all one word, or contact me on any social media platform. I'll be happy to contact you. Find a time, we'll meet up, we'll have a conversation, and it'll be great. You pick the topic. I'll let you talk however you want to talk, and I'm not here to make you look stupid. I'm not here for gotcha questions. I'm not here for anything like that. I'm here to have a discussion about beliefs and thought processes. So get on the show. Be a part of this. I wish I could just give you guys the username and passcode so you could be a part of it, and you could put up news and stuff like that too, but I don't trust you. Have a fantastic Friday. I enjoy every single one of you that supports the show, whether it's, sharing or liking. I honestly appreciate it. It means so much to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much because, again, I'm doing this out of, anger, frustration at the media. If you feel crazy, just remember it's the media that's making you crazy. So invest more time in the 1 minute news and just use that for your news if you want to. If you trust me, I honestly do everything I can to make sure my facts are facts. And when I get it wrong, I am happy to say I got it wrong. I'm not one of those people that are just going to double down like a crazy person. That is not a way to live life. Thank you, every single one of you. Have a fantastic Friday. And I will see you tomorrow morning. And maybe you'll join into my live broadcasting. I hope you're a part of it. I'm going to start doing that more often. I will post when I do it. Have a fantastic Friday. Enjoy you. Thank you for being you. Take tonight off. Watch something great. And see you tomorrow morning for another edition of the 1 Minute News.